Cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You must cry too if it happened to you. Okay, what's up, guys? Hey, Paul! Paul! What are you doing? Call me after this, motherfucker! I just seen your screen name pop up. I hadn't talked to you in forever, I feel like. Paul, I'll be in town April 4th through the 8th. I bought my ticket yesterday, so it's official. It's official, motherfuckers. I'll be there. I will be in California April 4th through the 8th. Okay. I'm excited too. It's all in me. Da-dun-dun. You won't do, baby. I say it gradually. Oh, I don't know what I'm singing. I don't know what I'm singing, but I'm tying my hair in a bow. Did y'all just see that? That was a bow. I just tied my hair in a bow. Okay. What's up, motherfuckers? Do you guys watch the really popular girls on TikTok? Did you guys see that Perfectly Kelsey's account got banned? I'm kind of like not even, I kind of like think it's hilarious if you want to know the truth. Hey, Hot Mess Jess, what's up, girl? I appreciate your support, for real. I really do. It means a lot to me. Hey, Recovery Manda, what's up, girl? Okay, we're going to talk shit for a second, and then we're going to get into some recovery stuff, okay? So, I follow these TikTokers here. They're like really big TikTokers with millions of followers, right? Yeah, I'm coming, dude. I'll be there in April. April, I got my ticket. We are going to talk about all kinds of different stuff, but first we're going to gossip just for the first 5-6 minutes of this video. So I follow these really big TikTokers, and they, Perfectly Kelsey and this guy named Curtis Woods, and there's a couple other ones that do it too. The Henrys, that one Scott D. Henry guy, it's like almost all of them do it. And they all are like, have millions of followers, and they all sell that stupid ketone shit where they're like constantly talking about how ketones change their life. But all it is a big ass MLM. Y'all know what an MLM is, right? Multi-level marketing. And so what they do is they use their platforms to get people to sign up for those MLMs. And y'all, if you've never worked in an MLM, it's bullshit, okay? Like, you do not need to do that, all right? You do not need to do that. Hey, Melysa, what's up, girl? Hey, Amber. What's the stuff I take that's a gummy? Oh, it's not an MLM. It's microdosing psilocybin. And I also, sometimes I take my microdoses of marijuana gummies. So, it's a pyramid scheme. Yes. Okay, so I watched this girl, Perfectly Kelsey, and she totally got her account banned today, which, honestly, like, I just kind of was like, well, y'all were talking about that damn MLM, and that's against the community guidelines. Like, you can't do that here on TikTok. Doing advertising for MLMs is against community guidelines here. So I was kind of just looking at that thinking, where do you get the psilocybin? I'll show y'all. Hold on just a second. And listen to me, you guys. Like, I'm not going to be like showing it and putting it on a video because they specifically asked me not to make videos about it. But I will show you guys the psilocybin gummies that I get. And you can see them this once and then that's it. Okay? Because they asked me not to make a video about it. Because they don't want people to like, some people are haters, you know? Here you go, Nate.
Oh,
MLM is a multi-level marketing scheme. You have to go to their Instagram, okay? I'll show y'all real fast, so get your pens and papers ready, okay? No, it doesn't. No, you would have to test for that. It's not like a drug like that. PSILO. And this is their Instagram. You DM them at this Instagram. Silo.delic. Silo.delic. Okay?
I don't want you to fall off the bed. You stay right there. Man, my eyeballs are burning.
My ear itches.
They're there, baby.
Those are the psilocybin gummies that I microdosed. Yeah, they're gummies. I don't know if they ship worldwide. I really don't, you guys. Like, I'm not a spokesperson for them or anything. Like, you have to message them on your own, okay? And when you message them, you'll message that Instagram account. And then, yeah, they're legal. You'll message that Instagram account. And then they will message you from another account. So it takes them like a month to get back to you, but it's worth it. Yeah, I've used them. I've already ate 2 bags of them. There's 25 gummies in a bag. And I got them like a month or so ago, I think. Yeah. We just went walking, Paul. That's why I feel better. Because I got out of the house and I actually went and did some exercise with my husband and my son. Sorry. What do they do? Well, they give you like an overall sense of well-being. They help with energy and focus and depression. They're $50 a bag, I think. But the more you buy, the cheaper they are. I spent $150 on 3 bags. But please do your research if y'all are going to do them, okay? It's a beautiful day today. Yes, Tammy, it is. Do your research, you guys, because I stopped microdosing. Psilocybin, Rohan. Psilocybin. I stopped because I'm on so many SSRIs. I'm on 2 different SSRIs, and I don't want to make my brain not be able to produce serotonin, so I stopped until I get off of my SSRIs. Oh, no, she got banned, girl. Yes, mushrooms, Melysa. That's what it is. So the last time I took a microdose was on Sunday, and Sunday was the last time I microdosed, okay? So I took 4 of those gummies, and for the next couple of days, like, I just feel like I wake up better. I sleep better at night. When I go to bed, I'm like, sleep like a baby. And it's not anything you're going to notice. Like, you're going to take them, you guys, and you're not going to notice, like, you're not going to be high or anything like that. I promise you, it's nothing like that. It is really like taking something for your mental health. Like, it just kind of makes my mind more clear. I have a little bit more energy and stuff like that. So there is like points. It's a really tiny amount in each gummy. Okay, so I microdose under 2 mgs. It's way low, y'all. If you look online, hey Mara, if you look online, it'll show you which, there's a microdose, and there's there's something smaller than a microdose, then microdosing, then something, I don't know. You got to look it up. I got them from a company called Silo, P-S-I-L-O. So, anyways, do your own research. I'm not going to be, y'all have to, you have to find your own way on that kind of journey, because I'm not very smart about it. I don't know about it. No, I never get sick. No. I've never gotten sick, and I've been taking them for over a month now, and I've not had any problems. I don't take them every day, though. I only take them like maybe once a week. Once a week. So that's every 5 days or so, 5 or 6 days. PSILO. I am recovering from addiction, but I'm really struggling with my mental health. So that's why I started looking up different plant medicines, like microdosing mushrooms and taking medical marijuana. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm on so many pharmaceuticals right now that I really need to get my body free from those pharmaceuticals before I can really reap the true benefits, you know? Oh, I was addicted to opiates. I was addicted to meth. I was addicted to cocaine. I was addicted to Xanax. I was addicted to everything. You have to message them on Instagram, you guys. So you'll go to their Instagram, which is Silo, PSILO .delic, DELIC. You'll send them a message. All you got to say is, hey, I'm interested in buying and purchasing the gummies. That's all you say. And just wait. And they will contact you from another account. And they will have you verify who they are and all that stuff. And then they'll have you download an app that you can, it's called Wicker, and you guys contact each other on that app. But it's legit. Like, they will send you the tracking number and everything. They're super good people. Just be really nonchalant about it. Don't be like, hey, Nicole from Real Talk Recovery sent me. Don't do that. Just message them and say, hey, I'm looking to buy some of those gummies. And they'll help you out. Okay? And it does take them about 20 to 30 days to get back to you. So don't send a million messages like fucking bothering them. Just send them one message. I promise you they'll get back to you. Don't be all fucking weird and shit, y'all. Okay? So you just tell them that you're wanting to get all they have is the psilocybin gummies. So you just tell them you want to order the gummies. And they'll send you all the specifics. It's a bag of 25 gummies. And I think for the whole bag, there's like 1.4 milligrams of psilocybin. So it's not a lot. It's like a very small amount. No, I wish I could grow my own. That would be amazing, huh? No, it's on Instagram. And it's Silo, PSILO .delic, DELIC. Don't be a fiend. Exactly, Chrissy. Yes, don't be bugging, y'all. I also have, it's a tiny amount, blunts. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, it's like super, super tiny amount. That's how much is in the whole bag. So each little gummy has like 0.4 in it. So you see what I'm saying? So you would have to take like a bunch. I guess if you ate the whole bag, you might experience a trippy feeling, but you'd have to eat all 25 gummies. And even then, I don't even think you would feel anything. So I take Wellbutrin and Lexapro, and I haven't noticed any bad side effects from microdosing with the medications I'm on. But I do know that I'm discontinuing the microdose until I can get off of my mental health meds, because I want to see if it affects the results, the feeling, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I'm all about trying something different. And, I've been sober from illicit drugs for a really long time. And so I have been struggling with my mental health, like bad. And so that's when I started looking up medical marijuana and microdosing. Now, medical marijuana, I'm going to be completely 100% transparent with you guys. I absolutely love taking medical marijuana gummies, edibles, but, and I say but for a reason, I get so stoned when I take them motherfuckers that I want to eat everything in the house. So I can't do that. I have to find a different strain if I'm going to do medical marijuana. And I want to get off of Suboxone and the mental health meds I'm on. Yeah, so Amber, these gummies, they give me energy. They really give me energy. But the thing about medical, so that's the psilocybin. Let's get away from that topic for a little bit and let's talk about medical marijuana. So my friend makes edibles and they are so good. Like they do a really good job. He makes gummies, he makes cookies and like these little fucking like Rice Krispie treat bars and hard candies, all kinds of stuff. And so he has followed me on YouTube for like 4 years. And so he told me that when I start tapering off Suboxone, if I need any, to call him. And so I called him when I started getting down below 2 milligrams, and I put in an order, and I sent him $60. And he sent me a big ass bag of gummy candy, a big ass bag of hard candies, and some cookies and shit. And when I tell you guys, I fucking took 2 of those gummies, and I sat there for like an hour, and I was like, this shit ain't working. So I took 1 more gummy. 30 minutes after that, all of a sudden my eyes, I could literally feel my eyes turning red. And I could feel the sensation of the medical marijuana coming on to me. I was like, shit. I need a pizza, bitches. So medical marijuana, I love it, but I can't do... I have to find a certain strain because it makes me so hungry. And so I have to wait until I find a certain strain because I need energy. I don't need to be fucking eating and shit. But I think that plant medicine is great. I think that what I think is important is I think that if you're somebody who's trying to get sober, that you need to make sure that you've been sober for over a year before you start experimenting with plant medicine. Because I think it's just dangerous. I think it can trigger you to pick up other drugs. It's kind of, I think it's important to make sure that you got solid sobriety. I don't want to get high. I don't want to go out and get drugs. I don't want to shoot meth anymore. I don't want to take Xanax. I don't want to drink alcohol, right? Taking these things doesn't do anything like that to me. And I've gotten to a place in my sobriety where I just know what I feel solid. I don't want to go out and get high and relapse. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it's really important. Like if you're going to start experimenting with plant medicine, to make sure that you've got some solid sobriety and you've got some good support networks. And also, I wouldn't do like I have done. I would go through reputable source. If you want to do medical marijuana, I would go and get your medical marijuana prescription, and I would do it the legal right way. I have kind of done it the ghetto fabulous way. I've done it the illegal way, okay? And I don't want you guys to get in trouble, all right? So do it the right way. Don't do it the way I've done it. I have to, that's why I'm not buying medical marijuana anymore until I get my prescription. Because I've been basically buying it illegally. In my state I live in, you cannot have it unless you have a prescription. So I'm doing it the wrong way. And so that's why I've stopped. I don't have any more left in the house. I ate all them motherfuckers. They're gone. Last month and the month before that, I was eating medical marijuana gummies fucking every day. I had the best time though, y'all. I was like having a good time doing my laundry. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. See, where I live, Rohan, we have to have a prescription in Arkansas. Now, if you're somewhere like California or Oregon, then you can just do that. You can just go get it. But make sure, like I said, you guys, that you got some solid sobriety. You know, don't go out tampering with shit. Get yourself sober first, okay? And then chill out. Rowan, if you're in California and you need help, you know, I work for Dr. B, and our clinic, our doctor's office is in Santa Ana if you need help. Yeah, so even if I did have a prescription, my sub doctor won't let us. They'll make us come in for, they'll make me pay $200 every month, and I only have to pay it every 90 days. So that's another reason why I'm not smoking or doing medical marijuana, because I don't want to have to go back on I don't want to be held back, you know what I mean? Like, I like being free, you know, and I have a lot of freedom with my Suboxone and my recovery because I have not relapsed and I've done so well, you know, and that's, you guys, it took me a long time to get to this point where I don't want to get high anymore. You know, when I first got on Suboxone, I still wanted to use. I still wanted to get high. I was struggling, you know, and I stayed sober by working with others and getting help from, you know, therapy and counseling and sponsorship. And that's how I've been able to maintain sobriety. So, yeah, I love my life today, and I'm happy to be in recovery, and I'm happy to share with you guys like my journey and the different things I'm trying. That's why like I love TikTok, because I've always been afraid to share about different stuff because I thought I would be judged by people in recovery, but we have such an amazing community here. Hey, will you spell that disease, please? And Montana raised. I got my pen so I can write it down. Because I haven't. I talked to him today, but I didn't get to ask him about it. I honestly haven't really got to talk to him except for about work. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people, you guys, that are drug addicts, like using medical marijuana, a lot of the times people will use it to check out of life. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. If you're using medical marijuana to stay stoned and not present, that's not healthy, okay? If you're using it as something like your medication for mental illness, you take it, you know, like in the morning, like you take your prescription meds, right? I think that's okay. I think it's just really important that you not be just taking it and eating it all day long or smoking it all day long. And I see a lot of people that do that, and they smoke all day long, and so they're just stoned all day long. That's kind of not recovering, you guys. That's like using drugs. That's like staying stoned, you know? Like, I have to be honest with you. Like, if you're going to utilize medical marijuana, it should be in a healthy, therapeutic way, not in a way that you're literally checking out of life, okay? DERMA. Okay, I wrote it down, Montana raised. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, a therapeutic dose of medical marijuana would be you get up in the morning and you take your medical marijuana, or you toke your little medical marijuana, and that's it. And then maybe before you go to bed at night, you take your medical marijuana to go to sleep. That to me is like what a person who is in recovery would do. Do you understand? Because what we're trying to get away from, when we are utilizing plant medicine, we're utilizing it to get away from checking out of life. So we want to be present. We want to be clear-headed. We want to have our thoughts in line, right? And so it's unhealthy to use it in a way when you're just checking out of life. Like, think about it. When you're just stoned out every single day and all you're doing is chiefing blunts, that's unhealthy. To sit at your house all day long chiefing blunts. How is that healthy? How is that therapeutic? How is that good for you? All you're doing is trading your addiction. That's not healthy. I think there is a healthy way to utilize medical marijuana and an unhealthy way. And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, maybe a person needs it to eat. I totally understand that. Take it before they have to eat something so that way they can actually have an appetite. I understand that too. But when you're using it to escape from reality, that's unhealthy. Medical marijuana, that's unhealthy. When you're using it because you had a fight with your friend, so you're like, fuck this, I'm just going to go smoke. That's not dealing with the subject at hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with utilizing medical marijuana, but if you're utilizing medical marijuana to not deal with everyday life, that's unhealthy. And there's no way to cut that. It's just the truth. You can't be mad at me for saying it. That would be like if I was taking Suboxone to check out of life. If I took a piece of Suboxone every single time I had a bad day. If I took a piece of Suboxone when I walked outside and said, I need more energy. That's not recovery. when we're using something to change the way we feel because we don't want to deal. That's not staying sober. Utilizing things in a healthy way is recovery. And so there's nothing wrong with me thinking that, because it's the truth. It can be cut every way till Sunday. You can say this about medication that you use for pain management. If you're taking your medication for pain management, you take your medication in the morning, you have a little crick in your back, you know you've already taken your pain meds that day, and you're like, forget it, I'm just taking another one. There's other things that we can do, like physical therapy and stretching and working out and do you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, we have to remember and learn how to deal with life on life's terms. And so if I'm constantly using a substance to not be aware or present, how is that helping me in my sobriety? How am I learning how to deal with life? If I'm leaning on marijuana when I have a problem with anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not a diss to anybody. What I'm saying is, find a healthy way to utilize medical marijuana. Find a healthy way to use that medication in a way that you're actually getting a benefit from it. Hold on. Man, what the fuck, dude? Zooted. I was going to let you stay in here, man, but you're like spamming my chat. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. Play it cool. And if I'm saying this and it offends you guys, it might be because you're doing what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I used to do the same thing. I used to use, when I first got on medication-assisted treatment, I abused my medication because every time I got upset, I would take an extra piece. Every time I didn't have energy, I would take an extra piece. If I had a disagreement with my husband, I'd take an extra piece. If I didn't have a job and I was worried about the money that we didn't have, I would take an extra piece. That's not healthy behavior. Okay? So I'm not saying any of this to you guys to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to help you guys see that there is a way to utilize medical marijuana. There's a way to utilize medication-assisted treatment. There's a way to utilize your medication that's prescribed to you in a healthy, beneficial way. You know what I mean? There are people out there that abuse these things, and they make it hard on people who are not trying to do that, you know? How did I overcome that? Oh, Lord, it was hard work. So it was probably the first year I was on Suboxone. Hold on, I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so the first year I was on subs, I was on 8 milligrams the first year. And so I would go and I would take an extra 4, so I was taking 12 milligrams. So the first 6 months, I kept running out of my medication early. So I went into my doctor, and I would have to see him every other week. And so finally, they caught me, because I was so afraid that I was going to get in trouble. They caught me, and they were counting my meds one day, and they were like, "Hey, Nicole, you're like running short, you know?" And then they called me into the office with my counselor and the doctor, and I was like, "I'm taking extra." And they were like, "Well, it's not getting you high. Why are you taking extra?" You know? And I was like, "Well, some days I'll be at work and I'll just have a hard day, and I feel like I don't have any energy, and it pops into my mind like, hey, take another piece." And that's when my doctor sat me down and he said, "You're completely wasting the medication. Suboxone is not made to be taken like that. You can't take extra and feel any kind of feeling. It reaches a ceiling effect in your brain, and it's just going to keep you at the same feeling the whole time." And when he explained that to me, how I was wasting my medication, it was like a light bulb just went off in my head. And that's exactly what it is. It's psychosomatic. It's psychological. And so that's when I sat down and I said, "Well, can you guys give me an extra 4 milligrams? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm taking 8 milligrams, and then halfway through the day, I'm taking another 4. And that's when they said, "Yes, we'll go up on your medication to 12 milligrams, but that's it. We're not going any higher." And that was right about my 6-month mark. When they allowed me to do that, then they told me, "Split your dose take 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, or take 8 in the morning or 4 when you're at work, like a couple of, 6 hours later. And that's what he told me. He sat me down. He said, make sure that when you split dose, you always make sure that you have 6 hours in between each dose. Don't take it close together. So you have to wait 6 hours from the first dose. And when I started split dosing 8 and 4, I stopped doing that. And I finally I just helped me so much. It was like the light bulb in my head came on. But I tell you guys these things because it was easy for me to, okay, so the reason why they gave me more is because in my mind, I needed to have 8 milligrams in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. What ended up happening after being on, because I could go up to 32. I could go all the way up to 32 milligrams. And that's what happens. To appease me and for me to feel stable, they allowed me to have that 4 extra. So I was to 12. I know some people that are on, my husband's on 20. Then I know another girl on 24. Then I know somebody else on 32. It just depends. Like every person is different. But to me, that was like, I felt stable at that. You know what I mean? And I stayed at 12 milligrams for 2 more years. And then I started tapering down. But, it was all in my mind though. It was in my mind that I needed to take an extra piece because it was going to make me feel better. And so they just, to give me that extra peace of mind and so I wouldn't overtake my medication, they allotted me that 4 milligrams, which honestly, like looking back on it, I didn't need it, but it helped me in the long run. You know what I mean? Tilly K. My doctor just told me that. He said, you wait 6 hours because if you want to get any benefit from that second dose, you need to make sure there's 6 hours between each dose. Because that's just what my doctor told me. And my doctor is pretty fucking educated about Suboxone. I've met a lot of doctors that don't know shit about Suboxone. But my doctor at UMS, he's solid. He's also the one who taught me about not swallowing that nasty ass spit and how it can cause constipation, nausea, and headaches. And so he's been my doctor for the whole time. And he actually goes over to other states and does, what is it called? Like, he teaches people that want to prescribe Suboxone all about the medication. So he's pretty smart about it. So I was addicted to meth and I was also an IV opiate addict. I was shooting oxys, I was shooting heroin, I was shooting Dilaudid, I was shooting morphine. And so I was actually addicted to IV methamphetamine, IV cocaine, IV opiates, and I was eating benzos like they were going out of style. So Rebecca, I totally get that. So the lower I've got, since I'm down to under 2 milligrams, the same thing happened to me. And I talked about this on my YouTube channel. So once I got down to 2 milligrams and I started dropping below to like 1.5, then what I realized, and this happened by mistake, but I'm going to tell y'all what happened. So I got down to about 1.5 milligrams. And one day me and my husband were out and about and I hadn't taken my medicine. And I was like, hey, did you bring your medicine? I didn't take mine today. Can you give me half of yours? Half of his, because see, when I take half of mine, that's 1 milligram. Half of my husband's is 4 milligrams. But I didn't even think. So he gave me a half of his, just like I would take a half of mine. And I took it. And like an hour, 30 minutes later, all of a sudden I was like, holy shit. Like I could feel it. I felt it. And it was because I had dropped below that ceiling level. I had dropped down below the level. And so I had so little Suboxone in my system because I was on such a low dose that when I took 4 milligrams, it knocked me into Timbuktu. I was like, hello. I only tapered a little 2 milligrams every 90 days. So really freaking slow. I've actually been paused on my taper for like a year now. I've been at 2 milligrams for like a year, but it took me a year and a half to get down from 12 milligrams to 2 milligrams. Alyssa! I took 2 milligrams away each drop until I got down to 6 milligrams, and then I started taking away 1 milligram. Are you talking about sweating? Spread love, not hate. Did you say you keep waking up and you're sweating? Hey, Chrissy. Yes, I'm free tomorrow. Let's Zoom, baby. So I don't swallow the spit. Sheena, I put the medication under my tongue. I let it completely dissolve. I made a video about this. I let it completely dissolve under my tongue. I even go in the mirror and I look and make sure that's completely dissolved, and all that spit that build up in my mouth, I spit it out. Sweating is a side effect. Femme fatale, or spread love, not hate. When I was on 12 milligrams, I sweated like a fucking whore in church. Bad. Now that I'm down under 2 milligrams, I don't sweat like that anymore. Jay Ship, you just contact the doctor. If you need help, you can contact me and I'll give you some telemedicine doctors. Yeah, I'm telling you, girl, that it's a side effect. And it's spread love, not hate. If you just started it, are you pooping? Are you pooping every day? I need to know. I know that 2 milligram strips are the lowest that I have. Now, I'm sure you could go down. Some days I take half of that, which is 1 milligram, and then you could take half of that, which would be 0.5, then 0.25. What would happen if I was no longer able to continue my medication? If I had medication, I would do a fast taper myself down to as low as I could get, and I would jump off and go through the withdrawal and be fine. Nothing would happen. I would stay sober because I don't play around. No, I didn't experience any withdrawal. The only time I experienced anything is when I went from, from like 4 to 2, and I started having a little bit of yawns, but other than that, nothing. Blunts. So I go to the doctor again in May. So in May, I'm going to cut my dose in half from 2 to 1 because I'm still prescribed 2 milligrams. I'm going to have him take away 1 milligram. How come I'm still on it? I've been on it for almost 5.5 years because that's just how long I've decided to stay on it. I made sure that my sobriety was hella strong before I was going to get off. I did not want to get off of it too soon and risk losing my son because I was in the system and my son had gotten taken away from me. And they told me straight up, if you relapse, we'll terminate your rights because I had already fucked up twice. Yeah, if you need to make sure you're pooping every day, spread love, no hate. But I want you to know, babe, that sweating is actually a really bad side effect of the medication. You can actually go to the doctor and ask for, they have a medication that they can prescribe you that will help you to not sweat like that. But you need to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water because if you don't, the medication will dehydrate you. No, so the spit is not the medication. The medication actually absorbs sublingually while it's dissolving. So if you sit there and you let it dissolve for a good 15 minutes, that medication has already entered into your bloodstream and you are good to go. All that extra shit, that's just extra filler and nasty shit you don't need. That's why I tell everybody, like, you're basically swallowing the naloxone and shit. Like, because that stuff can't cross the blood-brain barrier sublingually. The only part of the medication that is actually entering your system is the buprenorphine. Shucking matches is when you take a matchbook and you separate the striker strip from the matches. You keep the striker strip, you soak it in acetone to get the red phosphorus off of it for dope, meth. So the lowest dose that I know people have gone down to, I think, is a 0.25, and then they start shaving little pieces, and they take just a little piece, and then they start skipping days in between. So they'll take a little piece on one day, then skip Tuesday, then take a little piece on Wednesday, skip Thursday, until they skip days and days, 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 until they're completely off of it. Thank you, Misty Cunningham. Yeah, so you are constipated. Okay, girl. And that can also be affecting your you and making you sweat. So you need to go and get some of this right here. My husband takes this every single day. It's called Miralax, but this is the off-brand. Get some of this. Get you some prunes. Get you some water. Also get some probiotic yogurt. Where's my yogurt? Anyways, I got some yogurt too. That helps. And some stool softeners, and you'll be good to go. So D. Rocky, I have been weaning. I'm actually down from 12 milligrams to under 2 milligrams. But I can. If I want to stay on it for the rest of my life, I can. It just depends on if I want to or not. It's just part of my, it's really my treatment, and what I do for my treatment is totally up to me. So the doctor that I see, he is for me tapering, and he's for me staying on it. It's up to me. He has put that decision on me and tells me whatever I want to do, he'll be there to support me because he sees how well I've done on the medication. So it's really up to me. Suboxone, Lexapro, and Wellbutrin. Tessie, I might be off by this year, December this year, but I'm not sure. I don't want to put a date on it because then I start getting nervous. You know? Oh, it's okay, Nat. You're doing good now, though, right? Nat, we're here to support you, okay? Mackenzie, what's up, baby? No, Christy, I don't know anything about that. And I really want you to be careful with listening to people say stuff like that, because there's no medical, there's nothing backing that. A lot of people say things and they say, oh, well, I'm having heart problems and it's because of my Suboxone, or my teeth are rotted out and it's because of my Suboxone. They say these things about methadone too. Oh, methadone gets in my bones. That's not true. Like, no. And if there was something about that, I would be the first person to find out, because I literally work for a doctor. So I will find out all the facts about it. If there's something like that going on, Dr. B will know and he'll tell me about it. And because he writes papers for like doctors' journals and shit and all kinds of stuff. Like, he's really freaking smart, like genius, you know? And so he does researches and all that kind of stuff. So if there was something going on like that, I would know. So let me do some research and I'll make sure, but I'm pretty sure no. Nat, girl, you're 50 years old. Might as well, girl, get on the medication and live your best life until you go up into heaven, girl. That way you ain't got to worry about relapsing again. Mackenzie, I'm glad you're here. I was telling my husband about you. I said, Mackenzie is my little boo. He is my son. All in your head about what, Chrissy? Oh, I've heard it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will definitely find out. Like, I promise you I'll find out for sure. How does the medication help you? Sorry, so many dumb questions. It's okay. So Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist. What it does is it binds to the opiate receptor super duper tight. And that way, if I wanted to go out and I was struggling and I wanted to go get high on another opiate, Suboxone would not allow me to do that because it would block the effects of that other opiate. It also helps with cravings, and it blocks the effects of other opiates. So that's how it has helped. It also helps with my overall mood and sense of well-being. There are actually studies being done now on how Suboxone helps people with depression. And so, but my main reason for getting on it is because I was addicted to IV Oxy. I was shooting Roxycodone, like 6 to 10 Roxy 30s a day. I was fucked up on Oxys. I love her, but she's got a lot of people in here. It's okay, Nat. We're here to support you. Yeah, Kathy, I take Wellbutrin. I used to go to AA meetings all the time. I actually started out in AA, and for the first 3 years of my sobriety, I worked the AA 12 steps with a sponsor. But then after those 3 years, I moved to a different fellowship, which is called Mara. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyla. I'm on Lexapro and Wellbutrin. He's pretty awesome. Hey, just an addict, you can call 1-800-662-4357 and they'll give you a list of treatment centers in Oregon. Diana, I tried to call you, girl. Are you okay? I'm worried about you. Hey, anytime, baby. I'll tell him you said hi, Mackenzie. Hey, Jen. I was on live last night, girl. I was on live last night. You just hadn't seen me, but I've been over here. I don't take too long away. I didn't go on live yesterday, and today during the day I only popped on once. So, okay, any more questions? Y'all have been hitting me with the questions. I love answering questions for you guys. Oh yeah, somebody asked me about AA. So I did AA for the first 3 years. I still work the 12 steps. Like, I live them. They're part of my life. Every day I make an inventory of what I've done that day. I look and I see, is there something I could have done differently? Should I make an amends? You know, I make sure that I do my praying. I thank my higher power for helping me stay sober. I put others before myself. I'm constantly doing service work and helping other people. And that helps me stay sober. Dude, my vacation was amazing. I struggle because, like, I've been struggling with my mental health and stuff, like I told you guys. And, like, it really takes a lot to get me out of the house to, like, do stuff. And so my husband planned that trip for me to get out of the house and feel better. And it was nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Jen, we called a bunch of places that day when I talked to her on the phone, and I told her, I said, and then she texted me and said, I'm going to take a nap. Then she woke up and she said, I'm getting back to it. I'm calling more places. So she was doing the work. So I was really proud of her. Can medication-assisted treatment cause permanent damage? I think that, you know, because is it an opioid? Like with testosterone, there's some guys who, just with any opiates, have been on opiates for so long that they have, like, problems with their testosterone. We went to Mount Magazine. Yeah, I would love to do a speaker meeting for you. I love sharing my story. That's awesome, Jen. I'm so happy. I asked to come off opiates and the subs are not helping my pain at all. I felt like I am worse. Hey, Debbie, so if Suboxone's not working for you and you have legitimate chronic pain, talk to your doctor about methadone. It's a full opioid agonist and it might help with your pain a lot more. Because here's the thing, and I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. If I had pain and I wasn't a drug addict and I had real pain and I couldn't take, like, regular opiates like Roxy's or Vicodin or whatever, I would take methadone for my pain. Methadone is strong as hell and it works for pain. I know a lot of people who are on methadone for pain management. We had a good time in the mountains, you guys. And it was like, I went up there. Did you guys see the video I made? And I was like, these are the gifts of recovery. I mean, my skin felt glowy. I was out there and the sun was coming down on me. I had a good time. Good luck, Nat. Message me and let me know how it goes. Debbie, if you go to a pain management doctor, I think you can get a prescription. You just have to find the right doctor. Ugh, my ear. Sorry, guys. You have to find the right doctor. There are some doctors that can write you a prescription for methadone. Yes, did you see him by? I don't know if did I tape him? My son got out in the pool with my husband and was out there doing the damn thing. He was so excited. He swam the whole time we were there. Like, seriously. And me and my husband, we didn't teach him how to swim when he was little, so he's learning now. And he used to be so afraid to get in the water, but now he's doing so good. I'm so proud of him. And I'm always, you guys, if any of you guys have meetings or you want me to tell my story, I am always available to share my story. Hey, Amber, I've been sober since July 13th of 2015. Girl, I have been you guys, I am struggling with things to make videos about. Like, I'm so uninspired lately, and I feel like it's coming across on my videos. Like, I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I don't even know what people want to see. I feel like TikTok isn't pushing my videos out to you. Yes, my husband is sober too. Hey, KB, lovey, I appreciate you. I love sharing my story. In fact, it's one of my favorite things to do. When somebody asks me to share my story, I get so excited because I remember listening to a lady's story when I was in my first treatment center. Her name was Candace. I'll never forget. And she told her story, and she had a really hard time when she was in her addiction. And I remember her sharing about how she had broke free from the chains of addiction and how she was living her life and sponsoring people and helping others. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I want to do that. Jen, I think something's going on. So one of my friends said that when she types my name into the search bar, that my channel isn't even showing up. And so, you know, I didn't used to believe in being shadow banned. I thought that it was just fake. But now I'm thinking it's not. Now I think that they really will shadow ban you. And the way you can tell, hey Trey, is by going to your analytics under each video, and it will show you whether or not your video is on the For You page. If you keep on seeing your videos and there's no FYP there, that means they're not putting them on the FYP. Mackenzie, I have migraines, so I totally understand. Did you, Amber? Well, Amber says we are on the FYP, y'all, so maybe we're getting back at it. Yes, Eric. So one time I told my story. This is the first time I told my story at a treatment center. I'll tell y'all what happened. So I got 1 year sober, and I asked my sponsor, my AA sponsor, I said, can I share my story? And she said, when you hit 1 year, you can share your story because you ain't got shit to say until you have 1 year. That's what my sponsor told me. Don't judge me. She said, you need to wait because you'll actually have something to share then, you know? And so I was like, okay. And so I waited a year, and then I came back and I said, can I share my story now? And she was like, yes. And so the treatment center that I graduated from called me and said, hey, Nicole, it's your 1 year. Do you want to come back to the center and share your story? Share how you've been doing it since you got out of here. And I remember I was so excited. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So I went back and I went downstairs. They had me in this room, and all the guys and girls came in that were in the treatment center. And I told my story, and I was up there for about an hour and 15 minutes. And everybody in there, including myself, we were all crying. We were all crying our eyes out. But it was like, it was good because what I have learned, you guys, is that all those times that I was in active addiction, all the times I tried to get sober and I relapsed, all the times that I went to treatment, it wasn't because I didn't want to be sober. It's because I didn't know how to be sober. And then I didn't have the proper tools to stay sober. And so my son really helped me get sober because he's my inspiration. And then I finally found the right program and the right tools that helped me achieve sobriety. For the longest time, I just didn't know what to do. And I would get involved, and I would make it so far, and then I would relapse. And that was like the story of my life. I would get sober, and I would stay sober for like a year. No, not even a year, 9 months. 9 months is the longest I ever made it. And then I would relapse. And it was just like it was a cycle that just kept on repeating itself, you know? But now that I'm sober, and I have been sober for a little while, this is one of my biggest accomplishments. I'm not even going to lie, you guys. Sorry, my son's upstairs with his dad. They're watching TV. He just got out of the shower. I just gave him a bath. This is being sober and staying away from drugs and alcohol is huge for me because I was addicted to drugs for so long, for so many years, from the time I was a kid in high school until my mid-30s. And so to be sober now is like a big deal to me. You know what I mean? I'm so proud of myself. Okay, hold on. I'll read it. To boost your live, everyone has to keep tapping the screen during the live until the heart bar on the left top corner. Y'all hear that? So you do the live, you push, and these hearts will come out, and it makes it a super like, I think. So if y'all want to help boost my live, you can do that. And I really, really appreciate anybody that does that. I knew a guy who relapsed with 20 years clean. Let's talk about that, Eric, okay? Hold on, I got to wash my hands real fast. They're sticky feeling. So I have known people that had 20 years sober that relapsed also. And every time I've ever met somebody that's done that, they always have told me that the reason why it happened was because they were doing what they were supposed to do. They were staying sober and they were doing their recovery and they stopped doing something. So usually they say it happens months before the person ever picks up a drink or a drug. And so they were, you know, partying, or they were thinking of partying, or kind of like having a mental relapse in their mind before they ever picked up. I had a guy comment, I don't know if y'all seen it the other day, because I did make a video about it, but they were like, you're going to relapse. You're already relapsing. And I'm like, dude, why would you say that to somebody? Like, that's the farthest thing from my mind. I don't want to get high. You know, I might have some struggles and be depressed sometimes, but I don't want to get high, y'all. I don't want to lose my sobriety. I'm really happy to be sober. I love being sober. I just get depressed sometimes. I got to mail these out to the winners because I picked a winner the other day, if y'all didn't know that. I made a video. The people who won was Let's Talk Recovery and whoever her friend was that tagged her. But, you know, I think that, like, for me, because I have, like, spent all my time, you know, building my sobriety for the last 5.5 years, like, I would have to plan to go out and relapse because I don't know anybody to get high with anymore. I don't hang out with anybody like that. So it would be really, like, I would have to go through a lot of motions, and I just don't want to do that. Like, I just don't want to do that. One of my friends that I used to use with called me today. She called me today because her niece got pregnant, and her niece is shooting heroin. And so she was calling me to ask me if I knew any treatment centers that her niece could go to. But, you know, I could have been like, hey, girl, what's up? Let's go get high. And I don't, you know. Oh, who's trolling? Oh, hey, I am Rydell. It's probably just a little kid. We have little kids that have been coming in here. There you go. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I've been getting so many trolls that are saying snitch because of those damn teenager videos. That's how Mackenzie found me, huh, Mackenzie? Was the call a trigger? Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Yeah, so when she called, the moment I saw her name come up across my screen, I was like, it brought memories back. Now, can I share something with you guys? This is like true tea. So 4.5 years ago when I first got sober, this girl, Jennifer, she was still taking Xanax. And so I think I maybe had like 6 months sober. Diana, I want you to call me. I'm here to support you, okay? I think I had like 6 months sober, and she called me and she was like, hey, I'm going to come over and see you. And I was like, okay, come on over, girl. I knew I shouldn't have been inviting her over, but I did, okay? So she came over. Well, when she came over, she had Xanaxes, okay? She had some blue footballs and some peach Xanaxes. And so she didn't have enough for me, but I asked her, I said, will you bring me some Xanax next time you come over? And she was like, sure, I'll go get you some. Hey, Jeepers, thank you. And so she went and got me some blue Xanax footballs and brought them back to me the next day. So she brought them over, and I got them from her. She gave them to me for free. I got them from her, and I put them into my wallet, and I zipped them up. And I was like, I'll save these for later. I'll take these when my husband's asleep. He'll never be the wiser, right? Never be the wiser. I was like, so my husband came home that afternoon. It was like still daylight, and he was like, hey, I need $20. I'm going to go down to the gas station, get some milk, get some candy or whatever. And I was like, okay, there's $20 in my wallet. So my husband goes to my wallet and opens it up, and what does he find? Dun, dun, dun. The blue Xanaxes. He grabs them. He says, what the hell is this? And this is early on in our sobriety. And I was like, what? I wasn't going to take them. He said, Nichole, what are you going to do? Ruin our... And so I grabbed him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I threw him in the toilet, and we flushed him down the toilet. He caught me. If he hadn't caught me, I would have lost my sobriety that day. That was 5 years ago. Yeah, come on. Nate wants to show you guys his new books. Do any of you guys know Hello Neighbor, the game? Nate got the whole series of Hello Neighbor. This is Hello Neighbor. He's going to read them to us tonight. Before we go to bed, he's going to read one chapter every night until we finish the books.
And this one.
And then this one. You want to say hi? Hey, guys.
I'm the devil.
Okay, Nate. Why do you say that? You're not the devil.
Can I read all of them?
Yes.
Like the things?
Go ahead, read it.
Okay, I'm going to read the first
The title. Go ahead.
I'm going to read the first one, which is this one.
Okay, go ahead. Buried.
Buried of the Secrets.
Buried Secrets. Good job.
Or Buried Secrets.
They said, hey, Nate, cool little man. Thank God he caught you. Yes. Do any of your calls you deal with now kind of trigger you?
Missing place. Does that one say that?
Missing pieces.
Or pieces.
P-I-E. Yep, good job.
And Walking Nightmare.
Good job. Good job. Okay, good job. When I come up there in we got about 30 more minutes, we'll go to bed and you can read us a chapter, okay?
Are you going to video me?
Reading a chapter? I mean, I can if you want me to. I love you. Do any of your calls you deal with now kind of trigger you? You know what, Tammy? No. And it's because, like, it doesn't trigger me at all. Because when I'm dealing with people, I hear people when they're at their wit's end. They are crying. They are desperate. They are afraid. They are vulnerable. And I'm there for them to support them. Now, sometimes I think in my mind, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I want a milk.
Okay, I'll pour it for you. Don't just take it away. Little boy. Little boy. Let's get your cup right here.
Can I tell them something really cool, but I'm not going to tell you since it's a secret.
Okay, go ahead.
But I can only tell them.
Tell them.
My mom sucks.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, I tell them.
Okay, I love you. Give me a hug and a kiss. Love you. No, I'm not going to. Okay. So I'm like, when people call, I'm like, my feelings and my emotions, and I'm relating to them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, though, sometimes I get triggered in the way that I get really sad. You know what I mean? And it affects me emotionally. I have 3 accounts actually. I have Real Talk Recover, this one, and then Real Talk Recovery. And then I have another one that says Nicole P. Why, Chris? What's up? There's somebody that made an account called Real Talk Recovery, a guy, and I'm pissed about it if y'all want to know the truth. Some guy has an account called Real Talk Recovery. He has no content on it, but it says, are you sober or you just want to be sober, or something like that in the bio. Do I want more kids? Girl, no, I don't. I can barely handle it. I am not, like, no. I'm a good mom and everything, but it's a lot of responsibility. Do you know what I'm saying? You guys, like, I don't understand. Like, I almost feel like somebody did that on purpose. Like, this guy who made this Real Talk Recovery account, I feel like he did it on purpose. It pisses me off, man. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you make an account? It's like, to try. And then he followed me. And so I messaged him. I was like, hey, like, you know, why are you calling yourself, like, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't have the monopoly on Real Talk Recovery, but I mean, all my stuff is Real Talk Recovery with Nichole. Real Talk Recovery with Nichole. So, you know, it's whatever. Somebody else told me I wasn't showing up on their feed anymore, like when they were searching me. It makes me kind of depressed because I've worked really hard to build my TikTok, you know? I really want you guys to be able to find me. I want y'all to benefit from my content. I want to make content that inspires you. I want to make content that makes you laugh. That's why I make those videos about shit my dealer used to do that would piss me off. That's why I make those videos, because I want you guys to know that I've been there and I know what it's like. I remember those days. You know, I was out there in the trenches. Hey, Lil C, what's up, girl? Oh, really? That's awesome, girl. I'm glad. I'm saying it madly. Yeah, you know, I love TikTok because I have been working really, really hard to build my content or build my platform on YouTube for the last 4 years. And I've just gotten to 7,000 on YouTube. Now, here on TikTok, I hit 40-something thousand. You guys, like, this is a miracle to me. Like, I want to share with everyone how far I've come in my recovery because I want to inspire people. I want people to know that recovery is possible. And, sorry guys, I'm trying to fix this thing. And that if I can get sober, you can get sober, you know? Eric, me too, baby. Gaining weight triggers me too. And here's the thing, okay? I've worked so hard to build my following here. Like, I've built my following by sharing my life authentically. I started my TikTok in October of last year. What story do you want me to share? I'll share y'all a story. I know, I'm going to share a story with y'all real fast, okay? So the way I caught my felony, y'all want to hear? Because I think a lot of you guys don't know. So whenever I was like, I had just started injecting. So when I started using drugs, I was 17 years old, okay? And I had just started out dabbling, like smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol, and doing some lines of cocaine every now and then. Well, it got really bad when I started using coke because I have always struggled with my body image. And so I've always been insecure about my weight. And so when I started using cocaine, it gave me energy and it also made me not want to eat. And that's when I was introduced to methamphetamine. Methamphetamine was like what I had been looking for. It was the answer to all my problems. It gave me energy. It made me have no appetite. I could do everything. And I was 17 years old, okay? By the time I graduated high school, I was snorting and smoking meth daily. I started working at JCPenney and I was buying methamphetamine. And that's like a really big turning point for me, okay? When I started buying meth, that's when, like, it was like I had made it to a new level of my addiction. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when that was how I knew, like, okay, I'm getting addicted because now I'm buying the stuff. Because before, I would just do it with my friends on the weekends, or I would just do it with somebody if they had it. But now, I'm buying the shit, right? Well, I lost my job at JCPenney because I was actually giving people, I was stealing. I was giving the dealers stuff from the store to get free bags of dope. But really, it wasn't free. It was costing me merchandise. And so that's how I lost my job. I got strung out bad on methamphetamine. And by the time I was 23 or 24, I had started injecting. When I started injecting methamphetamine, that's when my whole life changed. Methamphetamine is so hard on your body. Does it have a bad come down? Fuck yeah, man. Because you're so depressed, you cannot, it's like you cannot sleep until you can sleep. At least that was my experience with meth. I shot up meth so much that I stayed awake for days and days and days. And so when I was like 23, 24, I started shooting up because my friends were shooting up. And I came in the bedroom and they were doing it. And I was like, hey, what are y'all doing? And they were like, you don't want to do this, Nichole. Like, this is too much for you to do, right? And I was like, nah, man, if y'all can do it, I want to do it. And that's when I told my friend Tammy, I was like, you're going to shoot me up or I'm going to do it on my own. And so her and my friend Nate did it for me. And when they did that shit, you guys, it took me out. I was like, the moment it went into my bloodstream, I was out of my mind. I was ready. And I never wanted to stop. I fell in love. It was like I had met the love of my life. We were going to get married and I was so addicted the moment that I injected methamphetamine. From that day forward, I didn't want to do it any other way. I sat in the bathroom and I locked myself in that bathroom for 8 hours. And I sat there and I took the needle and I was shooting up, practicing, trying to find my veins so that way I didn't have to have somebody else do it. I sat there and I just practiced registering until I had it down, and I didn't have to have anybody do it for me. And that is the way I became addicted to IV methamphetamine. Now, I had been taking opiates, I had been taking somas, I had been taking benzos, and I smoked pot, but I was like really hard on meth. Like it was my drug of choice. That's how I caught my felony, though. So I had gotten really bad on the needle. And me and my friend, all my friends were over at my friend Nate's house because Nate was a manufacturer. He was cooking meth. And so me and this guy named Quincy were there because we would Nate would manufacture the shit, Quincy would help him, and I would kind of handle people as they were coming in and buying dope. You know, I was like the house mom, basically. Well, one day we had went over there and bought a whole bunch of meth, and then we left, and we were taking it over to a friend's house. Well, we took it to their house, delivered them what they needed, and then we left. They called the police on us. They were a confidential informant, and they called the police, and that's when we got pulled over like half a mile down the road outside of their house. And that is when I caught my felony, a Class C felony, possession of a controlled substance. Now, the guy that was driving my car, Pacemaker Quincy, he also got a felony, only he had 5 or 6 grams in his sock. And so he was going to have, he actually had already had 3 strikes. So they offered him 20 years. And he fled. He ran. He was not going to do those 20 years. And I never ever seen him again. But I went to court and they sentenced me to 6 years with 3 suspended. So I was on probation for 3 years. I was on probation, you guys, and let me just tell you something. I was failing every drug test. I passed the first one, but after that, I was trying my hardest to find this magic. It was like the magic concoction of how I could use drugs and not fail my drug test, so that way I could still use and not get caught. So I kept on trying to find the magic combination. Well, baby, let me just tell you, there ain't no magic combination. And I failed every single drug test. Every single one. About 3 months into it, my probation officer was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance and you're going to go to treatment. And so she sent me to rehab. And that's when I went to South Arkansas Substance Abuse in El Dorado, Arkansas. The guy who owned the treatment center was a recovering heroin addict. And I remember he was like a hippie dude. He had long hair. And I remember going there and thinking, heroin? Who does heroin? Like, this was back in the day when everybody was either doing crack or meth or, you know, but I didn't know. I was like, what is heroin? Who does heroin? And I stayed there for 30 days and I did so good, you guys. I did so good. But I came back and I relapsed. And that's when I went to prison. So that's that story. But I got straight snitched out by confidential informants. And you know how I tell you guys a story about the Terry twins? That's who it was. Those damn Terry twins. Those girls are still snitching on folks to this day. It's what they do for a living. That's how they live, is they tell on folks. So, any questions? Oh yeah, I wanted to write too. I wonder if she'll like, I'm trying to figure out which person would want which one. I hope you guys are all enjoying these stories. I love sharing my life with you guys. It's fun. I enjoy connecting with people on the internet. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Hey, thanks, Stacy. I appreciate you. My hair, I love that. Thank you for loving my hair. Blunts. Yes, those twins were absolutely using, okay? They would get high with us. And here's the thing. Everybody knew that they worked for the police. Like, everybody knew it. But everybody knew it, but then but it was weird. I can't explain it. Hey, Rachel. I just want you guys to know that I really enjoy doing these videos, and I really hope that you guys enjoy them. Really? I'm sure it does. It doesn't really bother me to talk about it. Sometimes I get sad because I think back to a lot of the time that I wasted, and that's what makes me upset, because I think about, I could have done this, I could have done that, you know, but I can't think of it like that. I have to think about, you know, it is what it is, it happened, and now I'm a better person. And I'm not living my life like that anymore, you know? Hey, girl, hey. Trey, are you doing okay, honey? I did. I used with the twins. I actually lived with them, too, a couple times. Okay, so I lived with them in a trailer, you guys. Like, I stayed with these girls, and we hung out. We actually have, I took one of the girls to a concert with me. Hey, Ariel, what's up, girl? I took one of the girls to a concert with me and everything. Like, it was weird. It's like, I can't explain it, y'all. I can't explain it, but everybody knew that they were the cops. We all knew it. I am doing great. How are you doing, baby? Hold on, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, I thought everybody was a cop too. Hey, Crystal, I'm doing good. How about you, girl? I've been there. It don't even matter when you're getting high. You just want to get high. Yes, exactly. Why would people risk being around them then? I'm telling you, Blunts, this was something that a lot of people that got high with all of us were confidential informants. There's a lot more people that are confidential informants that are in the drug world than you would even imagine. And so, like, it was kind of like common knowledge, because they would actually go up to the police station and stuff like that. But it was like, I don't know how to explain it any other way than like, I guess you just hoped that they weren't going to snitch on you. And honestly, I didn't even think that I was in danger because I wasn't selling drugs or anything. But I didn't realize that, you know, they were going to, you know, turn on Quincy like that. And so they must have been approached. So this is what I think happened. I think that the Garland County Police Department approached them and said, hey, we're trying to get Nathan Reynolds, because that was the guy that was cooking dope. And we're trying to get him, and we will, if you guys do this, we'll take off some of your warrants, because these girls always had warrants for something, always. And so they were always in and out of jail. So I think that they were offered some kind of deal to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, yeah. I think that she would probably like this. So let's talk recovery. Do y'all know who she is? She has a TikTok, and she's actually just found out she's pregnant, and she won this coloring book. Her and her friend. I was in jail for 90 days, in prison for 1 year. I didn't do a long time in prison, you guys. Like a lot of people do a lot of years. I only did a year. But it was enough. It was enough for me to not ever want to go back. I actually follow this girl on here. I think her name is Jody. I think she did 15 years. Can you imagine that? Ugh. Ugh. Don't even get me started. Bitch, I'm a big gangster. Did the time go by fast or slow in prison? It went by really fast. I got down there, you guys, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make the best out of this. I am going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to make friends, and I'm going to not be here miserable. And that's really what I did. I put my mind to it. You know what I mean? And I did. I made friends, and the time just kind of flew by. By the time I knew it, I had been there for 6 months, you know? Bye, Paul. I love you. I'll see you soon. Paul is one of the guys that I get to go see when I go to California, you guys. He's cool people. I hope you're doing good, Paul. You know, you can always text me. I'm always around, just chilling, just working and chilling. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Did the time go by fast? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the time went by fairly fast for the most part. And then, you know, you make friends in there. So I made a bunch of girlfriends. Not girlfriends as in, like, lesbian girlfriends, but just, like, friends. Did your parents visit while you was there? Yes. My mom and dad came every Sunday. Let me tell you guys, when my dad came, he looked me in the eyes, and he had, like, his eyes were watery, and I could tell that he was upset, you know? And he just looked at me, and he was like, I hope that we don't ever have to do something like this again, you know? And it was emotional. And I was like, Dad, I love you. I love you. And I'm going to really, really work hard. And I did. When I got out of prison, I paroled out to a sober living. And I stayed sober for 9 months when I first got out of prison, but I relapsed. You know, my parents were there for me. They're the only people that were there for me. You know, all the friends that I thought I had, they were all fucking fake friends, you know. None of them were there for me for anything. Nobody wrote me. It was just my friend Scott, who was gay, and my parents. Hey Heather, how you doing? Hey Angel, I have been sober for 5.5 years. My 6 years will be on July 13th of 2015. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Whenever my friend Scott wrote me, I remember it was like I was so emotional because I had not gotten any letters from anybody else except for my parents. And so he was one of the only friends. He was the only friend And when I got out of prison, he was actually with my parents. He went out and bought me this badass fucking leather purse from Dillard's and had a gift for me when I got out of prison. Best friend. Thanks, Queenie. What finally made you want to stay clean? My son. My son was born. J-Ship, my son. If my son had not been born, and taken away from me, I would have never gotten sober. I was high during my pregnancy, and I was high when I gave birth to my son. And you guys, I am not proud of this, okay? I am not fucking proud of this. But it is the truth, so I just got to tell it like it is. I used meth during my whole pregnancy, and when I gave birth to my son, I was high as hell on methamphetamine. And he should have gotten taken away from me that day, but he didn't. And I had him for another year, and then he got taken away. So, yeah, I know Vivitrol is a naltrexone injection. It helps people who are alcoholics and opiate addicts. It helps with the cravings and also blocks the effects of alcohol and opiates. And if you're someone who has been able to obtain 7 to 10 days of complete sobriety, then yes, you can start Vivitrol. If you can't get to 7 or 10 days, then you can do methadone or Suboxone or Sublocade. So that's the whole hang up. And the reason why a lot of people don't use Vivitrol, because they can't make it the 7 to 10 days. But if you can make it 7 to 10 days, do it. It'll help you out a lot, girl, and then you won't be able to use. So that will be good. Okay, yeah, if you've made it 10 days, I do recommend it. Absolutely. It will help you a lot. It's like having an insurance plan on your sobriety. It's like having Blue Cross Blue Shield, okay? So it's like you want to get high, but you can't because you're on Vivitrol. You see what I'm saying, sister? So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I actually know a couple people that are on Vivitrol because Dr. B put them on Vivitrol. Now, I'll tell you this, okay? This is just what I've seen, okay? So it doesn't mean it's going to happen with you. I've seen a lot of people get on Vivitrol and they stay sober for 30 days. Then what happens is they don't go back and get their second shot. And then they relapse. So, as long as you get that shot, you'll be good. But you have to continue getting the shot. A lot of people, they stop taking it because they want to go out and use. And I've seen it time and time again where they make an excuse and they say, oh, well, I missed my appointment. This is for your life. This is a life-saving medication that is going to be the difference between whether you stay sober or relapse. Then why would you miss your appointment? You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. Get the appointment and stay on it. You know what I mean? Don't be a little shit and manipulate the system. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, if you hadn't been able to make it 10 days, then I would say, get on a medication-assisted treatment. And here's my thing, you guys. Like, whenever I tell somebody to get on, or I give some suggestions, it's always up to you. Like, you are the person who is going to have to live with that decision. And so, I just make suggestions based on, my own personal experience. But in the long run, you need to do the research. You need to make sure that what you're doing is good for you. Because everyone's different, So, a lot of people bust my chops because I'm on Suboxone and I've been on it for 5.5 years. But people don't know my life and they've not had to live my life. And so Suboxone has enabled me to be a better person. It has enabled me to be able to have my son back, to maintain sobriety. And so that's why I am such a huge advocate for medication-assisted treatment, because I had tried everything. I had tried to get sober and stay sober for 10 years before I finally got sober. This is what finally helped, and it has stuck. And that's why I will forever try to help other people. There should be no judgment, okay? People are dying at an alarming rate. And so if you're struggling with a disease of addiction, do not be worried about it. Get what you need to get done. Do you know whether or not, or have you seen private insurance? Yeah, you can get your insurance to. So most private insurances cover the shot, or at least the ones that I have seen. Now, I'm sure that there are some that don't. You might need to call the 1-800 number on the back of your card and talk to them about it. Where do you live at, Sam? Sam Dickens Sheets. Where do you live at? If you're in California, you can see Dr. B. Okay, so Ohio. You can call 1-800-662-4357, and they will give you a list of doctors that can prescribe MAT and Vivitrol. 1-800-662-4357. That is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Associate, SAMHSA. I got you, girl. Any other questions? What else y'all want to know? I'm here to tell y'all. I'm here to tell you everything. So, I don't know if you guys, is Vivitrol? Yeah, Vivitrol is a form of MAT. Medication-assisted treatment. I have had people reaching out to me because they are sober, but they're miserable. Have any of you guys gone through this where you're sober, but you're not happy? So if you're someone who's struggling with your mental health, have you gotten your mental health treated? Or are you struggling finding a doctor that will help you with your mental health? That has been something that I have struggled with for a really long time. And I'm just now starting to break in and get help, you know what I mean, for my mental health. If we don't treat our mental health, we're not going to stay sober, okay? We have got to treat our mental health. Well, Jessica, you don't necessarily have to be prescribed medication. You might need therapy for your mental health. There's different treatments for mental health, you know? L-tyrosine. Yeah, I tried it for like a couple days.
Can I show them the
but
game?
Honestly, I was also microdosing, so I couldn't tell the difference.
Can I show them the game Hello Neighbor? I downloaded it.
Is it free? Mm-hmm. Nay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the truth.
Daddy downloaded it.
He bought it, didn't he?
Okay.
Okay.
This is basically the game, the first chapter.
Okay. So no, Mom, I didn't try it, girl. I didn't stick to it.
And I do not know what to do.
Hey, Jace Williams, you're 14 and you smoke and you take Xanax. Lord help us all.
Lord help us all.
Jace, let me tell you something right now, okay, sweetheart? And then I'm going to have to block you because you're too young to be in here. Your brain is not developed fully. So you are literally stunting your emotional growth, your maturity. You are harming yourself. And I really hope that you figure it out soon. Because, baby, this is not the way you want to go. You're going to lose everything. Okay? You're 14 years old. Pull it together. You still have enough time to not go down the same route that I went down. See, when I was young, okay, I won't block you, but I'm going to tell you, Jace, using drugs and alcohol is not healthy, and it's not good for you. You are so young. Get help, man. Get help before it's too late. What do y'all think? What do y'all have to say? Tell him. Tell Jace, everybody. Jace, you might think it's cool now, but baby, when you're addicted and you can't stop taking them, you're going to wish you had listened to Miss Nicole. Huh, y'all?
Yep.
It's not a solution. It's not. It is actually just making the problem worse. You might think you're chilling now, but I promise you, you're only 14 years old. I felt the same way when I was your age. And then do you know what happened? I needed more and more and more and more until all I could do was spend all my money on pills, Xanax, weed, alcohol, cocaine, and then I didn't have any money. Any money. Then I started overdosing. Then my parents started finding me and started getting worried about me. I'm telling you, man, you don't want to go down this route. I'm praying for you. Xanax can actually kill you from the withdrawal. You blink and then 10 years later, you've lost everything. Jace, you might not be addicted to Xanax, but taking Xanax, what happens is your body becomes physically dependent to it. Your body and your brain. You can't help that, okay? You can't decide whether or not your body and brain becomes physically dependent. Benzos do that to you. And then when you try to discontinue use, you can have a seizure and die. I'm telling you, man, I know you're not going to listen because you're only 14, but we're all trying to help you here. Xanax is highly, highly addictive. Don't waste your life, man. You can turn it around now. There's so many kids that are finding my TikTok, you guys, because of those stash spot videos. Hey, Cinnamon, what's up, baby girl? And they're all coming over here and calling me a snitch. First of all, kids, I'm not snitching on your weed, okay? I don't care about your weed smoking. That's between you and your parents. Do I think you need to be smoking weed under the age of 18? Absolutely not. Because your brain is not fully developed. You have no business taking drugs, okay? But all that other stuff, that will kill you. My dad died of Xanax overdose. He thought it would never happen to him, and he has been gone for 5 years. Dude, I'm so sorry, Kaylee. Yeah, we're not judging you, little man, Jace. We just don't want you to end up like we did. A lot of us started out at 14 too. And so we'll keep you in our prayers, hon. And if you ever need help, you can always reach out to me, and I'll help you the best way I know how. So, isn't it crazy, you guys, how young people are on here? I can't even believe that they're on here without their families. I don't know. I feel like that's so young. I didn't have social media at 14. As a 14-year-old, I just want to say, don't do lean. I almost overdosed last year. I am 14 months clean. Hey, Gucci Dane. I'm proud of you, man. Congratulations on your sobriety. I've been taking benzos for years. It's true. It's a medical detox, and my body is dependent. Yep. My daughter is 11 in middle school, and they announced over the Overcom today. Yeah, so trying these drugs, Jace, you could literally get given something, and it could kill you, man. It could kill you. Everything is being pressed with fentanyl now, and so I'm telling you, man, Jace, if I could get a hold of your parents, I would call them right now and tell them, because I'm worried and I'm concerned about your well-being. That's how dangerous drugs are. Okay. Anyways, I'm the really, all the kids hate me because I'm the old lady on TikTok, talking about drugs.
Mom, do you know how to delete things on here?
What do you mean delete things?
Like delete games.
I'm about to go to bed, and that's what we're about to do.
You know how to do that though?
Yeah.
Kids, Can you delete video, kid? That one. Because I want to see what else Hello Neighbor games they have.
What's up, Jace? One more thing.
No, I said delete it.
Hold on, Nate.
Not use it.
I don't know. Close. Okay, let her out. Okay, buddy. It's deleted.
Now go type in Hello
So-
Neighbor on search.
I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to go lay down. Yeah, I have a little boy. He's 6 years old. You took acid at 14 years old? Please, buddy. Please listen to us, okay? We don't want you to die an early age. Acid is not safe, okay? You really, really need to not do those things, okay? We will try to help you, but you're underage, so there's really not a lot I can do for you guys because you're underage. If you're underage, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, you need to reach out to your parents, talk to a guidance counselor. I'm not a Karen Frosty. I'm just trying to help you, honey. You're not going to understand because you're just a kid, okay? You're just a kid. It's sad. It's like, anyways. So anyway, there's a lot of kids in here now, y'all. Like I said, I can't help you guys myself because y'all are underage and it's dangerous for me to be talking to underage kids. But y'all need to reach out to your parents or a guidance counselor or someone that you trust. If you do message me, I can help you reach out to your parents and talk to them for you if you're scared. Okay? And what we can do is we can call your parents on three-way, or you can go to your parents and put me on the phone and I will talk to them, okay? But that's really all I can do because your mom and dad are the ones that are going to have to help you. But you guys, there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're struggling with drugs, kids, listen up. This is important, okay? I know that it might seem cool, okay? And I know that you might be getting peer pressure from your friends at school. I'm going to share something with you since I have all the kids in my live stream right now. When I was 17 years old, my boyfriend was smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol and doing cocaine. I had never done drugs in my whole entire life. I started smoking marijuana and doing cocaine and drinking alcohol with my boyfriend because all my friends were doing it and I thought it was cool. All my friends, we would smoke and we would drink. By the time I was 17 years old, I caught a public intox because I was drunk at a basketball game. So that was my first charge where I got locked up in the drunk tank. By the time I was 18 years old, I was using methamphetamine every single day. And that was something I did with my friends because everyone else was doing it. It was cool. You know, it gave me energy. And that's what I thought. I thought, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just having a good time. It's just giving me energy, blah, blah, blah. By the time I was 30, I didn't get sober until 33 years old, 32 or 33 years old. Okay? I almost lost everything. I've been to rehab 6 times and I went to prison. Because I had possession of methamphetamine. And so it might seem like it's cool right now, you guys, but I'm telling you, if you continue doing what you're doing, you will wish you hadn't. You will wish you had listened to me. What, baby?
That one.
Does it cost money? Baby, no. I don't have the money. No. So, like I said, I'm not saying these things because I'm trying to be mean to you guys. I'm not saying these things because I'm a Karen. I'm not saying these things because I don't care. Okay? I'm saying these things because I don't want you guys to go down the same path I did. You know, if you don't want to listen to me, I respect that. But whenever you are strung out on dope, I'll be here sober if you need help. So, I'm going to go to bed. Me and Nate are going to start on... Which book are we going to start on, Nate? Huh? We're going to start on this one. The Hello Neighbor Walking Nightmare. So, we're going to read one chapter every night until we get through the book. So, I love you guys. I love all my guys. I love my kids and I love my grown-ups. I love all y'all. We're going to do this together. We're going to get sober and stay sober one day at a time. You guys know I'm here to support you anytime you need me. Tomorrow's Wednesday, okay? Tomorrow night we'll do a live stream, same time, same place. About 7:30 I'll come on here and we'll be on for about an hour, okay? All right, guys. Good night. I love y'all. Don't forget to follow me, like my videos, leave me a comment. If you guys want me to post your comments, leave me a comment and I'll make a video response, you know? And after I get Nate to bed, I might pop on again tonight, okay? Give me about an hour to get him settled down. Love y'all.